This is an amazing productivity machine and general use PC. It has a lot of bang for the buck. This is obviously not a gaming machine and isn't marketed as such. I'm sure you could do it with an added video card and upgraded power supply. I've got no cons, but I love the following: 2x sticks of RAM, 8 plus 4GB, not 112GB stick as on some previous models. I saw the 512GB SSD is actually an M.2 NVMe, which is blazing fast. The case is nice and easily accessible, so if you need to change anything or upgrade anything on the board, 2 screws get you into the case and everything is super easy access on the motherboard. My unit came with an extra SATA cable just loosely thrown in the box. Not sure what that's about. And it also came with a wired mouse and keyboard, which aren't winning any awards but are more than sufficient for use. I already had a display and peripherals, so I haven't even taken them out of the plastic. But this just adds to the value of this machine in my opinion. Would not hesitate to buy again.
I bought this because I needed something with an Intel chip for virtualization, and it had a full-size power supply, not some strange miniature proprietary one that a lot of the cheaper mini computers have. It comes with a 300-watt power supply, so I changed it out with a 450-watt PS that I had laying around, and then added an NVIDIA GTX 960 display adapter to use the extra 150 watts. I just added that 960 is an enormous card, but it fit just fine. I don't play games on computers, but this thing will obviously not be a gaming machine without a video card upgrade. I upgraded because the development software I use can be graphically demanding, and I already had the card. I removed Microsoft's ridiculous hypervisor from the group policies so I could use VTX and slats with VirtualBox, and added some VMs. I also added the Android Studio with HAXM, the M.2 500GB drive along with the HDD that I added worked perfect. This computer is easy to upgrade, runs VMs, and had a good price. I am very happy with this machine.
I needed a desktop computer and this setup was amazing for the price. I could not find any configuration that was similar with a 9th generation i5, but after a few days of owning it the tower started to shut down. I would have to unplug it to power it back up. Very few places sell Acer, so I was not able to have a discussion with the salesperson about it, and I didn't have time to uninstall or read through forums. So I just bit the bullet and found the closest configuration at Best Buy, which was sadly more and HP. If you can get this to work, then it has great value, but buy the warranty option.
Everyone knows what the PC looks like inside, so adding photos would be redundant. What I did add was a PCIe Express 36-pin 1X extender extension cable, wrapped it in 3 layers of copper tape, followed by electrical tape. This was added in case there was any ME due to being so close to 4GB SSD. Force GTX 1050T with a single fan did have to remove some of the plastic cowling of the card to remove pressure from the ribbon cable, so have an Asus TC-895 external Wi-Fi adapter plus a very good graphics card installed in this Aspire TC-895-UA92. Installed an external Samsung 2TB Evo drive that resides under the metal drive panel. Want another one, as the Samsung can be sped up with their Magician software. Swapped out the memory for 32GB of a pair crucial memory, and usually have 24GB of free RAM. Wasn't sure if this Acer Aspire TC-895-UA92's maximum memory was 32GB or 64GB. Bought the 32GB while it was on sale. Would like to get another Samsung SSD drive in the other slot, and finally upgrade the Western Digital M.2 NVMe main SSD from its 512MB to 2TB. At some point have a pair of 5.25-inch external fans that are powered by an external USB 3.0 hub to blow inside the case when I am gaming. Whether it is needed or not for the GTX 1050 I use MSI Afterburner to ramp up the fan when I am gaming or editing videos. For people that say this is not a gaming machine due to its lack of airflow, let me say it holds its own quite well. Then too, it depends what type of gaming you are doing. For what I do, this machine is plenty good, and no issues with the graphics card or any power issues externally. I use a 65-watt USB 3.0 that has 10 ports, and that covers everything I use and then some. The sound card on this Acer is nothing less than absolutely overwhelming. Bought a cheap pair of speakers and feels like I have a sound system here. A subwoofer would really put some oomph in the floors with the sound card, while I did add an external Wi-Fi adapter, as the only wireless access point here is 140 40 feet away. The internal Realtek Wi-Fi does reach that wireless access point with 2 bars. I wanted more power. Then a Netgear X1800 came by for review and I swapped over to using the Acer's built-in Wi-Fi to use the X1800 external mesh extender, and this system works out quite well on those days when the neighbors inundate the access point with too many streaming devices. I turn the SS Wi-Fi adapter on and connect it to an iPhone, MU-MIMO, and I can game all night long if needed. There are a lot of possibilities this Aspire TC-895-UA92 compact tower can do. I do not overwhelm the power supply unit and keep external devices connected to an external powered hub. I'm very pleased to have gotten on the sale. Thank you Acer and Amazon for having competitive prices. While I am a Vine voice person, I bought this machine with my own resources. I've been using it every day since its arrival. Everything works for its size. The only con I can say is Acer should have had an extended motherboard, added daughter board, or extended the PCIe slot out more so their consumers could have easily added a PCIe card in there. For whatever the reason, most video cards are double spaced, and Acer knew this because the last bottom slot was there when I added the ribbon extender and the card was just past the edge of the motherboard. The external case slot was there waiting in near perfect alignment. Was left up to my imagination and searching to find there were external PCIe extensions that could be used, and found them on Amazon as well. Amazon has everything.
This Acer Aspire TC-895-UA92 desktop is powerful and meets our family's computing needs. This is our first Windows 10 PC. It is an excellent replacement to our Windows 7 PC, which now serves as backup PC. The PC boots up fast. I timed this to about 12 seconds to boot up to Win 10 lock screen and less than 10 seconds to shut down. There is minimal bloatware. From what I can see when I checked out start menu, you get 443 GB free out of 475 GB for storage. This PC is quiet. You can barely hear the fan. Even when you place your ear right next to it, I easily connected to internet via Wi-Fi or Ethernet port. Both are reliable, without interruptions. As I surf the net, I connected my wireless earphones via Bluetooth. Pairs fast and works great throughout the times I have it in my ear. Norton Security Ultra is included free of charge for 30 days. Keyboard is lightweight and does not take up much space. It measures 16:1/4 length and 4:1/2 in width. I don't like the way it feels, even though it has all the keys I want or need. I prefer my old keyboard, so I use that. I like the mouse that is included. It has an ergonomic grip on the sides. The pictures and sounds work great from the DVDs that I put into the PC's DVD player. Note: when first using the DVD player, you select region 1 to 6. You are allowed 5 changes to this option. It looks like the 5th time you select the region you want, that becomes permanent. I love the notch the DVD player has for DVD-SC picture. I can securely place the DVD in while the desktop is placed vertically. One of my older PC's DVD player doesn't have this notch, so it's not easy to put a DVD in, as the DVD just slips out. So, that older PC is placed flat for when I want to play a DVD, taking up more space. I don't use a PC for gaming that much these days. I prefer the consoles, but I did install a few of my older PC games that I got back when I used to play PC games a lot from 2000 to 2006. Most of those games performed well, without glitches. I connected the HDMI cable from the PC to my TV and streamed my Netflix and Sling without any problems. It helps to have fast internet connection as well. This PC has 2 HDMI ports. If this is your first time using Windows 10, it's a breeze to get started. You sign on with your Hotmail/Outlook email account and that password. If you do not have one, then Microsoft asks you to create one. After answering several of their questions, you are then at the familiar desktop interface. Similar to Windows 7, it only took me about 5 to 10 minutes, primarily because I already had a Microsoft email account. What I don't like, this PC does not have PS/2 port for keyboard and mouse, so you have to use 2 of the USB ports for keyboard and mouse. I love my old keyboard and mouse, both need PS/2 ports, so I use a dual PS/2 to USB converter. It saves me an extra USB port. This PC does not have its own speakers. I plugged in my own speakers. The PC recognized it right away. It's worked well, but I would have liked for the PC to have its own speakers. Here's the specs taken from Acer's website. Processor manufacturer: Intel processor type, Core i5 processor model, i5-9400 processor core, hexa-core 6-core processor speed, 2.90 GHz 64-bit processing. Yes, memory, 12 GB max IMU memory, 32GB MEMORY technology, DDR4 SDRAM MEMORY card supported, SDTOTAL solid state drive capacity, 512GB OPTICAL drive type, DVD writer optical media supported, DVD RAM/R/RWGRAPHICS controller manufacturer, Intel graphics controller model, U graphics 630 graphics memory technology, DDR4 SDRAM GRAPHICS memory accessibility, shared Ethernet technology, Gigabit Ethernet wireless LAN, yes wireless LAN standard, EE802.11 number of total expansion slots, 2 number of PCI Express X1 slots, 1 number of PCI Express X16 slots, 1 HDMI, yes number of USB 3.1 general 2 Type-C ports, 1 total number of USB ports, 8 network RJ45, yes audio line in, yes audio line out, yes yes USB Type-C, yes operating system, Windows 10 Home operating system architecture, 64-bit maximum power supply wattage, 300 height, 13.4 width, 6.4 depth, 13.8 weight, 16.31 lb.
Great mid-level computer with lots of bells and whistles and fast boot Bluetooth, check, Wi-Fi, check, wired LAN, check, USB 3.1, check, DVD drive, check, dual HDMI ports plus VGA for backwards compatibility, boot time, 7 seconds flat, minimal software bloat that takes all of 5 minutes to remove. The included antivirus is Norton Security Ultimate, but it's a 30-day demo version. I'm not a fan of anything Norton for many reasons, and it's expensive. I consider it additional bloat. The cable management is surprisingly well done and the system is nicely designed. It's a mid-level PC with minimal adaptability. The mobile will support 2 additional drives, but the power supply is pretty weak, 300 watts. There's only 1 expansion slot, but the PC already has everything most users will want. It's not a gaming PC. With most action games you'll be playing at 720p, but it plays videos just fine. There's enough USB ports to support anything you'll need. I've attached shots of various benchmarks and info screens. Surprisingly, it passed most of the Oculus VR compatibility check, but unsurprisingly not the graphics card portion. The keyboard is a chiclet style, thin, small and very lightweight. It feels pretty cheap. The mouse feels even worse, fine for occasional use, but I'm replacing them both. Overall it's a nice PC for everyday use, office use, etc.
First off, if you're looking for a PC to hardcore game on, this is not it. I built myself a gaming PC and was comparing specs, and although lots of the spec on this PC are very nice and may be able to handle light gaming, don't overdo yourself if you're expecting this to be the primary use for that. Onto the review. Well, at first sight the computer tower is actually really compact and that works perfect for lots of people. The computer is only a few more inches taller than my size 9 slider featured in the images for scale. The tower has several ports on the front, but then a plethora on the back as well. The overall casing is pretty slim and I'd compare it to a shorter mid-tower size, so pretty compact. The specs are already featured in the listing, so I won't go over that. But I love that you don't need to buy Windows 10 since it's pre-built and installed. The sound of the PC fan-wise is pretty quiet. I didn't notice it get too loud at all. The keyboard and mouse are your standard PC accessories and will do the job unless you're picky about ergonomics. You might have to buy additional accessories. You do not get a monitor, so you will have to purchase that on your own. Overall, this PC is solid for browsing and everyday use for the average person.